I be recording.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me? AJ.
Yo, what's up, my man? How we doing today?
Good, man. Just want to make sure that you heard me. For those, we look like we got one person on, but we're going to get started tonight regardless because we have a fantasy football draft. But before we get started, speaking of fantasy football, do we have anybody want to do? We still need people for FanDuel?
We need one guy. I mean, we can get as many as we can, but we'll start with 10. We just need one more to finish out this week. So if anybody's interested in playing FanDuel, $25 every week, $50 every 4 weeks. 50% of the purse goes to first place, 30% goes to second, 20% goes to third place. We do it weekly. If you're interested, hit us up. We'll be forming that league here in the next hour.
So I heard that. So hey, welcome to Football Chop Up. Hey, we want to thank you guys for checking us out. If you're interested in FanDuel, just send us a message in the comments or hit us up individually on our social media. We don't have to really go over the cover regions but in detail. But I'll do it real quick. We cover Seminole Lake, Volusia, Brevard, Orange and Osceola. Those are the ones we cover. So big shout out to those guys on that. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully, guys, looks like we have a big following in Brevard County, believe it or not. Shout out to those guys out there. But we'll talk about social media. AJ talking about social media. And if you want to be in the FanDuel, you can contact us there as well.
Social media. We have a Twitter. We have an Instagram. We have a Facebook. Elite 100 Prospects is our Twitter handle, Facebook handle, and IG. Then the YouTube is down at the bottom there. It's Elite 100 Prospects 6. You can follow us, contact us at any point. I'll just bleed right into it. With sponsorships, we need sponsorships. It's vitally important to help us every year with our annual Senior All-Star Game. This year to be in Orange County. We alternate every other year. Last year was in Lake County. So with Orange County having the majority of the schools, we're looking for anybody to sponsor uniforms. You can sponsor different packages. You just contact us on any of our social media platforms or email at info@elite100prospects.com, and we'll be sure to get back to you.
All right. With that being said, appreciate you telling people a little bit about that. Also, want to make sure that we are giving everybody their full due on sponsorships. We do have a couple of guys who stepped up and sponsored. We have Sleeve King. If you don't know their work, they do a tremendous job with sleeves and stuff like that, custom made for the kids. We have My Peeps, which, by the way, AJ went out to Lake Mineola and presented the young gentleman that won week 0. He was very appreciative. Real nice. Yeah, real nice young fella, man. He was really a nice young fella. I got to give him full credit on that. The way he talked to him himself was very impressive. It's always good to see an athlete that's just more than an athlete, So big shout out to him. With that being said, we also do have Greg Francis who's going to sponsor us. How much sponsor we going to give us, we don't know yet, but we will find out shortly. So I keep hearing myself probably, and that's probably in your background. Let me put my headsets on so we not I don't want to have an echo. Hold on one second. That way we not doing that. Yeah, that way echoing on. All right, that's much better. That way I don't get that echo. All right. With that being said, want to make sure that we give our sponsor our due, but take a second and we're going to play a commercial by Mr. Greg Francis.
When you've been injured in an accident or on the job due to the negligence of others, know this: your community has your back. Communities look out for each other, and I protect my community. Whether I'm fighting for a personal injury case, medical negligence, or winning the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history, you will receive personalized and aggressive representation with a goal to maximize your win. Scan now to schedule your free consultation. Osborne and Francis, real tough lawyers.
Yeah, shout out to Greg Francis. And like once again, if you would like to help sponsor some of the stuff that we're doing, please get us via our social media. Best way just to go, if push comes to shove, you forget, go to elite100prospects.com and you'll be able to get all our social media and all that stuff on there as well. So with that being said, we didn't have any commitments this week that I know of.
Nah, I can't think of
Nobody.
none.
No, nobody committed. Uh, it's going to be interesting, as this goes on, to see if guys are going to stay committed to the schools that they committed to. To be totally honest, we have some kids.
We did have
Javon,
one.
who committed.
Jacquez Joyner at Coco. He's a 2025 offensive lineman, but he did commit to UCF.
Yeah, so far.
We'll see if they stay committed.
Yeah, that's a long time, but they do have a pipeline right now at Coco and schools like that, so he might be able to they may be able to hold on. UCF does a tremendous job of getting a pipeline at certain schools. All right, with that being said, we had a very good game of the week last week. We'll start off with our game of the week last week was very good. It was, I love these game of the weeks. They've been decided by a couple of points here and there. That's what you want. You definitely don't want any blowouts. But you had Boone versus Evans. So with that being said, you were there. Tell the people a little bit about it.
Boone versus Evans. Evans came out on top. They were victorious. 17-19 or 19-17. Evans pulled out the 2-point victory. It rained majority of the first half. So neither offense, in my opinion, could really do what they wanted to do. Evans they did control the game pretty much start to finish. They had the lead at halftime. They took a lead in the third quarter, and Mizell, he ran a kick return back to cut the lead to 19-17, but ultimately Evans they showed some things. I know it was wet. The offense couldn't really open up like they wanted to. But Chris Peterson, terrific athlete at the quarterback position. He had a total of 185 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a nice 50, 60-yard touchdown run, cut it back across the field, got missing. He was the player of the game, and it was a pretty good game on both sides. I will say that Boone did not have their best player, L'Garris Marshall, at running back. He was banged up with a shoulder injury that he suffered in the Kickoff Classic. He should be back in the next week or two. Just speaking with him before the game. And also Evans was without their All-American safety, Brandon Jacobs. So best 2 players on both sides were not there, but Evans found a way to win without their All-American safety.
Yeah, I mean, that's what football comes down to. It's definitely an ultimate team sport. Also, just want to point out that whoever this Warren Ware kid is, he said I committed and he misspelled it. I think he is an Evans grad, so I want to point that out. So it just but I digress. So let me move on. You mentioned that Chris Peterson, he was our player of the week. Can you tell the people a little bit about what he did that that made him Player of the Week besides winning the game?
Yeah, Chris, he is the driving force to Evans' offense right now. They run a spread option style based offense. I would have to say run first. But Chris is he's the tone setter for that offense right now. So yeah, Chris, he had 185 yards. He had a couple runs in the first half that I like to believe he would have scored on if it was a dry surface, but he just wasn't able to get the traction that you normally see from him with the footing. But he still managed to have just under 200 yards all purpose.
Yeah, well, shout out to Chris. Congratulations. There we go, Mr. Ware. He corrected his spelling. Instead of getting 100, now we'll give you a 92. On the grading system. So good job. But shout out to Chris and Evans, and this is probably the first time in my recollection that Evans has been probably 2-0 since Warren. It's been a while, that's for certain. It's been so shout out to Evans. They got a big one this week. If Evans gets to 3-0, man, it's gonna be hard to keep him out of the top top 10. They might have made it this week, so we'll see what happens when we get later on down this line. But with that being said, we also have a fan player of the week. We had a fan vote. AJ, would you like to give the people the percentages from the lowest to the high? And maybe we talked. Maybe you just want to talk a little bit about each four guys and what they did, and then just let us know how the fans voted for them. And the
Fan
fan
voted.
player of the week is voted by, it's sponsored by Peeps Apparel, My Peeps. We will make sure that we get their email out to you guys shortly. But we really want to thank them for what they're doing. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, so the My Peeps player of the week this week, and this is a fan voting, so it's all predicated and dictated by the fans. But coming in, the fourth guy, Javon Ross from D-Land, he had 278 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions. He ran back a kick return, 92 yards. He had a 77-yard catch and run. The kid is really just dynamic. He's explosive as hell. At any given moment, against Mainland saw the same production. They weren't able to win and beat Mainland, but I guarantee the kids from Mainland, they know number 9, Javon Ross. He had 3% of the votes. 6% of the votes was Michael McClinton, defensive. I want to say defensive end, but really how Okoye used him, the kid, he's everywhere. He's in the B gap one play, out wide at a 5 the next play. I even saw him at the point man on the offense was in the trips, and he was at the point. So he's all over the place, but he had 20 tackles, 7 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Again, that was 20 tackles, 7 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And he was also Florida High School Player of the Week last week when he had 23 tackles. I think 4 sacks. But the kid is a tackling machine, but he was in 3rd place. And then 2nd place with 43% of the votes. It was really a 2-man competition out in Brevard County. Javen Boggs, dynamic 2025 receiver. He had 10 catches for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the guy that was guarding him for majority of the night is star cornerback. Coco did a great job.
Charles Lester.
Yep, Charles Lester. Coco did a great job getting Javen, getting Boggs the ball quick and screenplay. And he capitalized for them, helping them win. And he had 3 touchdowns. But the player of the week is Xavier Lesser. I'm gonna be honest, Xavier. It's hard to pronounce your last name. It's Lherisse. Larisi. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he goes to Egali. He's a dynamic player. He's a young guy, 2026, if I'm not mistaken. He had 13 tackles, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and a punt return touchdown. So he was busy. He was dynamic as well. So he was the My Peeps player of the week.
Yeah, hey, shout out to him, man. But I mean, all these Okoye people, which Rob Wright is definitely an Okoye fan, is no way in the hell a kid get 20 tackles, 7 sacks, and what else? For what?
2 forced fumbles.
2 forced fumbles, and y'all don't call it to vote this man player of the week. I mean, damn. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers, man. Like he got over 40 tackles, 11 sacks in 2 games. That means if he just get 5 sacks a game, I mean 5 tackles a game going forward, he's damn near 100.
Man,
If he get 1 sack a game the rest of the year, he had 20 sacks. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Let me see what his right now. Right now, he has 40.
Look at Rob. I voted for him and Josh. Josh wasn't in the vote, man.
I don't know.
Josh wasn't in the.
He's talking about
Florida high school. Yeah.
But right now, after two games, this boy have 43 tackles, 9 sacks in 2 games.
That's crazy. Like the sad part is last year I think Trey had 27. And I was like, man, that shit ain't gonna get broken. That's what I told him. Hey, I'm gonna have to call Trey back and be like, look, man, hope you enjoy it this year. Because it's probably you didn't hurt. Yeah, you come December, man, you might not be able to do that. And that's against, think about this, man. That's against hey man, it's going to be something else. K is correct.
That was against Olympia and Wakaba.
No, it wasn't Olympia. It was Apopka.
I mean Apopka, yeah, Apopka and Wakaba.
Yeah, man. But anyway, man, hey, shout out to the young man, man, to all the young men. I mean, they actually all did tremendously well. Shout out to those Cocoa guys getting out to get the vote. That's really important because that's why it's called a fan player of the week. And so with that being said, we got to go over our top 10. We want to go over last week's top 10 real quick.
Top 10. Yep. We'll start from the top. At the top, we had Mainland number 1. They beat West Broward 35-0. Cocoa number 2. They beat a nationally ranked Venice team at home 31-21.
Which is very impressive, by the way, but go ahead.
Very impressive. Seminole 2-0. They beat Osceola at home 31-6. Apopka 0-2. They had to face
2-0. Apopka's 2-0. You said 0-2. Just want to make sure because somebody will be complaining.
My bad. Apopka. No. This is last week's top 10. Last week's top 10. I said Apopka. I meant to say Jones. Jones number 4. 0-2. They lost to Good Counsel 40-14. Apopka number 5. They beat West Orange 14-7. Edgewater 2-0. They beat Clearwater Academy 15-14 last drive. Josh Alexander got an interception to seal the game. Lake Mary at the 7th spot. They're 1-0. They didn't play last week. They had a bye. Number 8, we got Heritage 2-0. They beat Palm Bay 34-0. Number 9, Wakava. They're 1-1. They lost to Okoye. Okoye did a terrific job defensively. They won that game 13-6. And Eagle 2-0. They beat Bishop Moore 12-10. So that was the top 10 right there.
Yeah, we'll go over the. With that being said, then we getting ready for this week's week. This will be week 2's top 10. We'll go over the who are the next 3 up.
Next 3 up,
and what are their records?
Next 3 up, we're looking at Titusville 2-0. We're looking at Oviedo. And we're looking at Leesburg.
Yep, Leesburg was it. So right now, all those teams are 2-0. If I
Oviedo's 1-0.
want to know, yeah, they didn't play. So they got a big matchup this week as well. Which if they win, they probably will be in the top 10. But we can go ahead and
No,
start.
I
Uh,
take
we can
I
go ahead and
think
start. Yeah, Robert is not only is his
it was breaking
his
up. I
writing
couldn't
is.
hear you.
I said Robert. Not only is his writing, Robert says Okoye didn't make it and Wakaba did. Robert, that was last week's top 10. I know it probably so that was last week, Robert. We're going over the top 10 this week, Robert. So that was last week. So
And
this,
yeah,
this week top 10
and
is
this
what we're
it's
going
not
over right now.
Oviedo. Oviedo was yeah. Let me take that back to correction. The next 3 up is not Oviedo. My mistake. Oviedo last week. They actually lost
That's
pretty
why I thought I
handily
lost the
there,
university.
1-1.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to University Orange Center. The next 3 up would be Titusville, Leesburg, and Winter Park. Actually, a 2-0 Winter Park right now. So we'll see if they able
Winter
to keep.
Park did Winter Park play last week?
Yeah, Winter Park. Yeah.
I thought they canceled their trip to Georgia. Well, no, Orange County. 'Cause I think Orange County only let Jones
Yeah,
go out of town.
yeah, Boone. Yeah, Boone. Winter Park plays this week. They play Boone.
Well, all right. So let's move on to top 10. Who's number 10 this week, and what's their record?
Top 10. We looking at Leesburg. I mean, my bad. We looking at D-Land. D-Land is 1-1. They lost they home opener to Mainland, number 1 in our top. I mean, my bad. They lost to Mainland, but they at home versus Columbia. Columbia has a pretty good reputation, but I like D-Land. That's a real good team right there.
It's a good team, but I'm with you. Columbia has a real good reputation, and historically, they've always Lakes. Those boys from Lake City have always played the wing T very well. Their head coach, I mean, for years, I remember they would come down, they'd put that thing on a pop. So, but uh, I like D, I like D-Land. I like right now what Ross is bringing to the table. He's pretty much unstoppable. Reminds me of like that little kid last year at Okoye. He really is doing a lot for that team, and I hope and pray that some school takes a chance on him because he really is a bad boy to say the least. Uh,
Yeah.
all right, all right. So who we got? Who we got after that? For those who don't know, that Small World reality check. I see you, Noop. Remember Cap up aside, you see the bar in the back. But hey, with that being said, we're gonna go off topic for a second. His son is Dylan Edwards. I had 4 touchdowns against TCU last weekend. He showed that jetpack that he got from his daddy. His daddy played at K State. So shout out to my dude, Leon, Small World Edwards, my frat brother, good friend, all that good stuff. But I was very excited for his son to get off like that. It means a lot to me just because he's like my nephew. So I was very proud of him. And Colorado got a big win. Hopefully they don't get too ahead of themselves, but I think Coach Prime will have them ready for Nebraska. But I got off track. Let's move on back to number 9. Who's number 9?
Number 9, we're looking at Egali at 2-0. They'll be at home versus Winter Haven. I like what they got going on. I think they go win this game. It sets up a undefeated, a terrific matchup for next week.
Oh yeah, Ugali's been doing that thing. However they say it. Yeah, but Ugali,
They normally just say EG.
yeah, they've done their thing, and like you said, next week is going to be a big game for them. Who they have next week, so we can let the people kind of give them a teaser.
We got Coco.
Yeah, so you'll have a top 10 matchup. Hopefully, well, they're gonna beat. Yeah, you will have a top 10 matchup
Yeah, it's gonna
probably.
be a top 10 matchup
All right,
regardless.
all right, who we got at number 8?
Number 8, we're looking at Heritage, another Brevard County school, 2-0. They play Sentinel this week. Centennial, excuse me. I expect them to win that game going away. But we got Heritage at the 8 spot.
All right, Heritage is the 8 spot. Good job, Heritage. Now, I know because I'm getting the phone calls. I'm seeing the texts on my phone. Uh, a person. Well, we'll finish it up and we'll address them. Number 7. Who's number 7?
Number 7, we got Lake Mary. Lake Mary 1-0 after impressive victory week 1 versus Dr. Phillips. They did not play last week, and I think they'll be primed to take on Oviedo Lions at home.
Yeah, someone is wondering why. At least they're more realistic. I'm shocked they didn't ask me would Okoye be number 1 this week, but at least they're more realistic. They were saying they should be somewhere in the top, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll discuss that a little bit later. All right. So who's next up?
Next up, we got Jones. I know it's people probably looking crazy. Rarely do you see an 0-2 team in the top 10, but we got 0-2.
Not rarely. We saw it last year.
Yeah, Coco. We saw it last year with Coco. And people called us crazy then, and the season played out, and Coco won the state championship, but that's another story. But Jones at the 6th spot, they played a national powerhouse in Good Counsel on the road. So, I mean, that we got Jones.
I had quite a few Jones people, man, that was upset that I would choose Good Counsel, and I kept trying to tell them, if you know anything about the Washington D.C. area, the Good Counsel is like the IMG for D.C. So you would know that if you in Maryland area, they are truly that good. I mean, their facilities and everything are tremendous. It wasn't surprising that Jones went up there and what happened. And Jones has they have some good players on that team. They had, but they had some grown men they was going up against, So, shout out to Jones for even going out there to take that, to play that kind of team. One thing they can't say is Coach Will does not run from competition. So who we got at number 6?
Number 5, we got 2-0 Edgewater Eagles. Edgewater, they're at home this week versus West Orange. Negative to that question right there, but we got Edgewater at number 5.
Oh Lord Jesus, help me! I'm about to cuss on the show, man. Oh Lord, help me, Jesus. All I'm gonna say is this MD Durant dude is one petty. That's some petty. That is some petty type stuff right there. This man said Lake Nona question. What's the question? But I'm not going to assume he being petty. That's wrong on my part. What is the question? Because he just said Lake Nona question. So that doesn't mean he might not be questioning what he had. He might just have a question. So let us know what the question is. If not, I gotta assume he being petty. But Edgewater, has definitely, they went down and played a very tough Clearwater team. Honestly, you can make an argument that they could get moved up because, well, even at home, but even at home because Clearwater just lost to, they played some teams real tough that will probably be playing, for state championships. So, matter of fact, one of them is Homestead, and because Edgewater, if they want to go to state, they're gonna have to beat them. So, so Homestead I think won as well, but it was a close one. So, shout out to Edgewater and those guys over there, Duke and all those players. Shout out to Josh doing his thing. Who's number 4?
Number 4, we're looking at Apopka, 2-0 Apopka. They got a big game this week versus Dr. Phillips. They have to go to Dr. Phillips. I mean, the Blue Daughters find a way to win. They won last week 14-7. So yeah, we got Apopka at the number 4 spot.
Yeah, hey, Apopka, APK, man. Y'all guys, I'm glad you won, but y'all got to represent. We know the defense is popping, but man, you got to score sometimes. I mean, we can't, 2 weeks and 14 points. I don't know if that's going to work against DP because DP, they lost, but they scored 60. So,
yeah.
I know defense travels, but you can't keep putting defenses in bad situations. So, and I know my frat brother's the OC. I know he's going to get it together. I know he's going to do his thing, but it's going to have to start this week. It's going to have to start this week.
Yeah, last week, though, I give all the teams, I look at it with a grain of salt last week, knowing the weather played a factor in everyone's offense on Friday. It rained majority of the first half into the third quarter at most of these games. So it's unfortunate, but I kind of have to look at it with a grain of salt. But You are correct.
Okay.
They offense we got to do better.
Nah, man. Hey, my frat brother ain't gonna have them excuses about no rain. They gonna have to pick it up against DP, and we know that defense is gonna travel, but you're on the road, so you got you got to and DP. It'll be interesting to see. They had a comeback win, but it's gonna be interesting to see what Coach Wells does. With defensively against a team that I don't know if Popka got all the weapons that Lake Mary had though. So that's why I say it's going to be an interesting game. I don't even know if we're picking them this week, but I'm pretty sure they are. Let's go with who's number 3?
Number 3, we looking at Seminole, 2-0 Seminole. They absolutely demolished Osceola last week, 31-6. Young team fly around. They're 2-0. They have to go to Treasure Coast. Always a tough match out at Treasure Coast. They have to go on the road, take on Treasure Coast. But I like the Seminoles to take care of that matchup there.
That man said demolish. I mean, demolish, man. He demolishes like 55-7-8. Like what Lake Nona did to University. That's what they were talking about. They say Lake Nona demolished University, man. They said they had, big numbers. That's what he said he was talking about.
Listen, man, I can tell you right now, Osceola lose by more than 14 points. They feel like they got demolished.
That's Osceola. They should, but Osceola, there's a the thing is they shouldn't, because that kid that's not playing, I won't even say his name. He good for 2. I promise you that. He good for 2 touchdowns. So you might not, you may not.
31-20, 31-19 game.
Hey man, when you up 21 or whatever, it make a difference, because I think they're putting the linebacker and running back who's good, but he ain't Swint. It's just what it is. So that kid is arguably one of the top 5 running backs in the country. So as well as I do, like just like Dylan Edwards, you give guys like that a crease and they gone. That is a game changer. You're a former running back, you know how I go. All right, yeah. So who we got in number? Shout out, by the way, to those Seminoles. Shout out to those guys out there. I'm sure they're excited because Florida State Seminoles won, so it was just a Seminole type weekend. All right, who we got number 2?
Number 2, we got Coco, 2-0. B. Jones on the road, came back, beat Venice at home. They have to go to St. Thomas Aquinas. I'm going to tell Mainland right now, if Coco beats St. Thomas Aquinas, they will be number 1 next week. I'm going to let all the Buccaneer fans and everybody know that it's going to happen if they beat St. Thomas Aquinas.
Man, hey man, you gotta. What if Mainland beat somebody 80-0?
Man, I'm no disrespect to Bottom Trail and no disrespect to the other teams that Mainland played, but to beat Jones, Venice, and St. Thomas Aquinas 3 weeks in a row, man, we got to get them people their credit.
Yeah, at that point, it kind of made it's a moot point, to be honest. I play devil's advocate, but if they pull that off, and even if it's a close game, I mean, what happens if it's a 21-20 game on the road? So every week, when the thing about the top 2 to 3 teams is always going to be looked at how your style of play and how the game.
Yeah.
We're gonna dissect those games. We're gonna go on Huddle and take a real good look. So you already pretty much sported about 2-3 times. So who's number 1 this week?
Number 1 at the top of the mountain, Mainland Buccaneers, 2-0. They won convincingly last week. And they have Bottom Trail. They got to go to Bottom Trail. It's always a tough environment, but I like what the Bucs got going on. Go to Bottom Trail, take care of business.
Yeah, we ain't, matter of fact, we ain't had T on the show. He ain't been on the show lately. Neither has, now I can see I know EP hot. So I can take EP not being on the show because I know EP hot. Like I know EP, EP in there, I know EP hot, but
them cats be watching on YouTube. They be watching on YouTube. T-Rome done fell off. T-Rome.
Oh, well, I hope T-Rome does fall off. T-Rome is the only dude that's mad.
We don't talk about Roger, so he don't.
Hey, he got to give us something to talk about. I mean, I done already told him. I'm not. Hey, man, I done gave you a pass for years. You can't be in Brevard County, the fourth, fifth best team, and expect us to say something about you. It is what it is, especially when you do all the trash talking. So you can't be that guy. It's just what it is. But
I mean, typically Rockledge is that second team in Brevard County, but this
they
year we
not
got
this year. Yeah,
PG.
they not this year. So it is what it is. So like win
They
some
not
games
this
and
year.
we'll
They
talk
just
about you. But so with that being said, hey man, you got somebody Ehigh by 35. Wow. Uh, damn.
oh
Ehigh,
my
Ehigh.
lord.
Oh my, K probably responded. I didn't even go and look, but I guarantee you somebody responded.
Hey,
Ehigh by
don't
30.
do not get this boy started tonight. Don't get Malk and K started tonight, please.
Hey man,
Yeah,
they say Heritage is
PZ.
better than Rockledge.
We know,
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
PZ.
yeah, we already know. We not, but hey, Peasy, I don't know, man. Mainland loaded, brother. I mean, you might just want to go check them out. They are pretty much loaded, and
Maryland is
and
low.
yeah, they are loaded. And Eddie Mays is my guy, like 4,000. Real good brother,
Heritage.
man. Yeah, he's my guy, man. Real good brother. He's always been a good brother. So and has always been there, been in the community, which is huge. We need more brothers like him. Seriously. But with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get these people started. We got our,
Let's
this is
get
what
these
everybody want
pickums.
to see.
All right,
Well,
pickums.
pick 'em. Let's see
Going
who it is.
on. Uh, last week I was 5-1. We both were 5-1 last week. You're 9-3 for the season. I'm 8-4. Lifetime, I'm 106-27, and you're 109-29. I mean 101-29. Deltona and Spruce Creek, we both picked Spruce Creek. That was a win. Osceola versus Seminole, we both picked Seminole. That was another win. Leesburg versus Eustis. Leesburg won 35-0. That was another win. Wekiva versus Ocoee. That was the one that we both picked incorrectly. I'm not afraid. I'm a man, so I won't back down Ocoee with the upset victory. They played a tremendous ball game, only giving up 6 points. They hurt Superman. They hurt Tyree, and he was not as effective as normal. Thus, Wekiva lost. Palm Bay versus Heritage. We both picked Heritage, won that one. And then the game of the week was Evans versus Boone. We both picked Evans, and we both won.
With that being said, with Kava versus Okoye did their thing, but please remember, and I hope coaches hear this too, man. I had a parent from Wakava flat out say, man, Tyree shouldn't have been in that game. They say Tyree was really messed up. And coaches, man, we can't be out here, trying to win games at the expense of these kids. You know what I'm saying? That's unfair, unfortunate, because especially a kid, that they got a career somewhere else. Because I don't like to see kids, in those situations. Hey, it ain't that serious. They can play another day, but that's just me. All right, so this week who we got?
This week, Volusia County matchup, we looking at Pine Ridge. We're gonna look at Pine Ridge, get them a shot. We got Pine Ridge versus Space Coast. Space Coast is out of Brevard County. I'm gonna rock with Pine Ridge on this one.
Yeah, well, I'm with Pine Ridge as well. Big shout out to Eddie. I hope you heard me give you your flowers, brother. Like I said, I'm proud of you, and you've been holding it down for the community down in that area for a long time. So hopefully, people will appreciate that and give you your flowers now. Yeah, I'm telling you, everybody I talked to said he looked real bad, man. I mean, I heard that from quite a few people. Like literally, because I picked Wakava to win, but of course I wanted Coy. I was torn because my son played at both schools, but I definitely want Buck to win. That's my guy. But I respect everything that Coach Schwartz does over there with Kyle. I think he's highly underrated, but I think his team is tough as hell, just like he was as a player. Because I always believe teams take on the personality they coach. probably one of the reasons why, Colorado won, to be totally honest. I'm a real big proponent of that. If your coaches is in there all nervous and acting afraid, the kids going to be like that. But that's another story. So, yeah, we got them. Who we got next up after that, AJ?
Hey, one thing I will say, though, I know Coach Schwartz over there at Wakava, and Coach Gay, offensive coordinator. I know those guys personally, and I know that they care about those guys. So I got the same calls and texts that he looked bad. He shouldn't have been playing. Eventually, they did pull him out of the game. The severity of his injury, we don't know.
Right.
So, it happens in football. I can remember Byron Leftwich, his team had to carry him down the field. They ended up coming and winning that game in Marshall. He couldn't put no pressure on his foot. So we don't know the severity, but I heard the same things that you heard as well.
Yeah, and by no means a dig at the coaches over there. Like I said, he's tough. I know that his kids are tough, but as a parent, I just don't like it. I'd rather just sit there because you can't tell a competitor to sit down. They couldn't tell us, but sometimes you got to
Right.
protect the kids from themselves. But I'm sure knowing Tyree, he wanted to be out there. To be totally honest, because like he think he's Superman, but and most of the time he is. But anyway, who else we got?
We got Osceola versus Jones. Game is in Osceola. We got Osceola versus Orange County matchup. I'm gonna rock with Jones on this one, man.
Yeah, we rocking with Jones. Mainly because like that bad man ain't been back there. So hopefully
He's
he
supposed
gets
to
to
be
come
back
back
this
soon.
week. I think this week gonna be his first week back, which did make me think about it, but I'm still gonna go with Jones.
First week back is the only reason why I can't. If it wasn't first week back, I would have to really consider it, to be honest. But we're gonna definitely go. Who we got? Who else we got?
Next, we got a Lake County matchup: Eustis versus Tavares. Tavares is 1-0. Eustis is 1-1. Eustis just took a bad loss to Leesburg, but I like Eustis to bounce back with the victory.
Hey, we on the same team with that. I shout out to Frank, Coach Scott. Had a tough L last week, but Coach Scott's a trooper, and he usually has his team ready. Did one of his best coaching jobs last year when his best player decided he wasn't playing, and he did a tremendous job of coaching. So shout out to Coach. But yeah, I'm definitely going with Eustis.
Eustis. Next up, man, we got a tough one, man. Orange County matchup: Evans versus Ocoee. Honestly, man,
Oh no, don't backtrack now. You got some wings on the line. You can't be in here. Come on, man. You can't do that, man. Hey, stand on your stuff, AJ. Stand on your stuff, man. Don't let them
man,
punk you now, man.
Just calm down, man. So my pick'em record is like, is I got to take that in question. But then I'm like, I got another bet on the side that I'm gonna go with Evans, man. I just think that at the end of the day, I think Evans will score enough points to win the ball game. I don't know if Evans gonna beat him by 35, like Malcolm's saying, because I do respect Ocoee's defense, but the inability to score points on offense is what has always alarmed me with the Ocoee team this year. So I'm gonna go with Evans, man, to start the season 3-0 and beat Ocoee.
AK, can you please let me know if that was satisfactory to your ears? She said she ready for the wings. Because I keep trying to forget, man. What is the wing bet?
With me and Kay, hold on, let me go back to
you and Kay got the same one.
Evans 7-3. And then your bet with Malcolm is you took Ocoee with the +20. He said he was gonna beat Ocoee by 20. So you got 20.
Oh no, Malcolm just said 35. That goes back up.
No, y'all bet
Malcolm,
2 weeks ago.
Hold on, Malcolm. That was 2 weeks ago. He just said 35. Malcolm, do you want to raise it 35? Do you want to raise it, Malcolm? I ain't going. Hey, we won't leave till you say that. Yeah, and that's what I said. He said they was going to win by 21. That's what Malcolm said.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he got to win by 21. I'm still taking the A. I'm taking Okoye in the points. So I'm taking Okoye in the points. He gave me 21. He gave me 21 points. I'm taking Okoye in the points. Hey, but the defense ain't finna give up all that.
Okoye looking
You would
like
take
Colorado
Okoye in the points.
me, boy.
You would take Okoye in the points. Shit, right
now.
now.
Taking the points with Okoye.
Right
now today.
Look. Malcolm's so stupid. Malcolm's so stupid. Oh, Malcolm, boy. Malcolm, you going
He had some time to think, boy.
Yeah, you got to think about that 35 you was talking about. You got to think about that. Robert said he said he wanted his 50 wings from you, lemon pepper. Rob, I'm gonna tell you like this. In all honesty, this game is probably gonna tell who's gonna win it. Like, to be totally honest, if Kava beats Evans, they will be 2-1. It's highly likely that they will go 7-3. So, and that's what the bet was. So, I'm gonna take Okoye just to make it. Anyway, I'm gonna because really and truthfully, literally, Carlos Odom just called me. That's my dog. Buck, my dog. They both my dogs. But I'm gonna take Okoye in this one because I got too many Okoye people that they told me they let me slide with Wakava because they know my son went there for 2 years, but they told me if I pick anybody else against them, then it's gonna be a problem. So I get it. So I can't. So I'm gonna give it to him, man. I'm gonna go with Okoye, and I want him to win anyway. And I got Malcolm. I'm telling you, I'm gonna want my wings on Monday, man. I'm just telling you. I don't want to hear no. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing on Monday. Hey, as soon as you get through a practice, just me. I'm nice enough, man, to let you take me to Froggers where they got 70 cent wings. I ain't even gonna do you dirty, but so we'll hold it down like that. Look at Malcolm backtrack. Look, Malcolm back. Look. Oh, man, I know I'm going to do wings, man. They ain't talking about it's a real dog fight. They ain't talking about that. Come on, man. Yeah, really. Come on, Durant. What I'm supposed to do? Carlos is my dude, and Buck my dude. And my son just left Okoye. What I'm supposed to do, man? I can't go against Okoye 2 weeks in a row, man. They it'd be a problem. So let's don't do that. Look at this dude right here, man. This dude Malcolm is hilarious, man. Malcolm is hilarious. Malcolm, man, I'm telling you, man. Rob said they're not giving up 21 points. I'm hoping not. I just need the offense to. I don't even care what the defense give up. I just need the offense to score 2 touchdowns.
I don't know, man.
Hold on.
Just can't turn
You know who this is right here. This is no spelling person. So who is this Facebook user? So you're picking Okoye every week moving forward, AG. Who's this no spelling person? Well, Okoye won't be picked every week because every week we don't pick on a program. So every week they won't be picked. But I'm just trying to figure out who this is. Yeah, I mean, expertise wise, I would say you can't win a game if you can't score. Right now, Okoye's defense, was against. I'm hoping they win. It was a bad field. Tyree was hurt, but expertise-wise, honestly, I would go with Evans. Just to be totally honest, right now, Evans' offense, because the reality is, Okoye's offense ain't showed you they could score. Offense ain't scored a touchdown yet. So I mean, even last week, it was a kick return. So I mean,
and a pick six.
Yeah. So
Josh,
I mean,
now one thing I will say, Josh is electrifying. He's dynamic.
Yeah.
If he get a punt return or kick return, he liable to take that to the house. But it's a different situation on offense. Okoye offense has just not been able to figure it out. And a lot of that, honestly, is at the quarterback play. You turn around and you look at Evans.
Yeah, well, when you talking to me, I'm gonna go with Evans. But I'm gonna take my 21 points. I'm gonna take my wings.
Points in 2 games, in the Kickoff Classic and then the spring game. Their offense is better.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Evans then. I'm changing my mind.
Switching there? Hold on, bro. Yeah. You said Okoye.
I'm switching because because honestly, I would just be giving that up because I just don't think that when I look at the offense, off, I mean, I just can't see Evans. They almost have to hold Evans to 10 points to win the game, but I don't see them getting 10 points. If Evans don't, hey, Carlos ain't going to kick the ball to Josh.
Nah,
I promise you that Carlos
Carlos-
going to kick it out of bounds. So now if you can't kick the ball, you ain't gonna get no. I can't live off another pick six. So
Yeah,
no, I'm gonna.
that's what I'm saying. My only that's I'll be honest.
Yeah, really.
I'll be honest. Okoye, I respect so much that I respect the Okoye defense so much that Evans cannot turn the ball over. They cannot give him no short field, or they can't give him no gimme touchdown. Like it's gonna be a tough game for Evans, but I like the Trojans to win.
I just don't. I respect Carlos enough to know he's not gonna give you that. And I just don't think Okoye's offense can just go win the game right now. Defense could, but the problem is Carlos ain't gonna play with the defense. Carlos ain't gonna play with the defense. I mean, has Evans had a whole bunch of turnovers?
Evans did have a crystal interception last week. Ill-advised throw in the rain. Bad read.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have on it. But that's what I'm saying. He just cannot throw that. He can't.
Well, I tell you what, if y'all, hey, Malcolm, I'm telling you now, if y'all kick it deep, Josh probably take it back.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that now. You can do that if you want to. I promise you, you're gonna be sitting over there.
You're gonna lose out of bounds.
Yeah, you're gonna be the lost all. I'm gonna get them wings anyway. I know for a fact they ain't finna win by 21. But I gotta, I just don't trust the offense. It has nothing to do with the defense. I think the sad part is the defense might be better than what it was last year. There ain't no Mike to it. Mikey makes a difference. If we had a linebacker like that was getting 20 tackles, we win state. It ain't even no question. So yeah, but offensively, man, I just don't see it. I mean, I don't unless they're gonna go ahead and put somebody else in hold on, man. I gotta check this dude real quick. Rob, what we ain't gonna do, man, because it's one thing to be a fan, but damn, dog, 10 points, and offense ain't scored, and you up here chopping up like they out here murdering somebody. Come on, dog. We can't do that shit.
You a parent, man.
You can't do that, man. Like, let's be real, man. It's like, bruh, let's be real now. I mean, you can't do that. The offense got to produce. Now, hell, you as a parent, if you sitting there and you ain't pissed off, that's a damn problem. Matter of fact, just because you said that shit, I'm doing for Evans. Because as a parent, you think Shep could have done that shit with me? No, man. But really, I wish Coach Shep was on here. We would have a conversation. It's nowhere in the it's nowhere in the hell my son on offense and we have no scores. And I'm gonna be like, oh, we win it. No, man, come on now. I mean, the offense got to do something, and that's just the bottom of the defense is out there busting their ass, man. They got to produce too, and that's just being honest. Like the defense out there balling. Hey, man, you can say it what you want. The defense out there balling.
Look, for all them Okoye fans who think I don't like Okoye, I tell y'all right now, Okoye has a state championship caliber defense.
That part.
What? In this day and age in football, you got to put points on the board. And they offense, I don't believe in them. So it's I mean, they that's just what it is.
This dude right here, man. I mean, I can't with this dude. I can't with this dude. No, my blood pressure's fine on that one, man. I'm just like, man, my thing is as a parent, I mean, you can support your team and all that kind of stuff, but you also got to hold your coaches accountable. I mean, shit. I mean, my favorite, man, please don't get it twisted. Aubrey Leggins is one of my favorite guys out there. Aubrey Leggins is not happy with his offense not scoring no damn point. AJ has been my 7-on-7 coach forever. AJ, I've been there, and AJ offense scored 6 points, and you think somebody died in his family because ain't nobody gonna be cool with that. Seriously, I've been there, AJ. I'm like, man, we're gonna be all right.
Hey, them 7-on-7 boys, no boy, boy,
being there, like I'd be like, man. So that's what I'm saying. We can't be up in here, man. At the end of the day, why would I pick him? If the offense scored 20, give me 20 points a game, I pick Okoye every damn week. I promise you that. But right now the offense
Yep.
is scoring 0.5 points a game. Come on, man. I can't. Well, it's really the offense, ain't scoring nothing. The defense is outscoring offense.
They are.
So that's what it is. So yeah, man. So all right, man.
Let's
So
move on, man. We got 2 more games, man. This next one is going to be a tough one, too. Brevard County stand up. We got Cocoa versus St. Thomas Aquinas. Man,
I'll go ahead and
call
put mine
me
in there.
crazy.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Who
go
you
ahead. St. Thomas. You go ahead. Call you crazy. Go ahead. You go ahead and pick Cocoa. You go ahead.
You
Hey,
got St.
I'm sorry.
Thomas?
Hell yes. Now you go ahead and pick Cocoa.
Hey, Brevard County, y'all better not ever say I ain't got y'all back, man. I'm going with Cocoa, man.
There you go.
Hey. Cocoa done beat Jones, gonna beat Venice. I believe in Cocoa, man. And St. Thomas good, but they beatable. So let's
All right,
I
hey,
think
man.
Cocoa going.
Yeah. So, boy, hey, you know what? The sad part is that is Cocoa. Like he just said, he go with Cocoa until they take an L. That is
Right.
Cocoa. Yeah, that's how they do though. That's them. Until they take an L, but I'm going with St. Thomas. So hey, there go your one. There go your one chance to get caught up. All right, yeah.
Caught up? What
Yeah,
you mean?
I'm up.
On the season?
Hey man, we can season by season. You keep all them other stats you want. It's a new season every year.
Lifetime, man. Lifetime
Well,
record, man.
hopefully we have another. Hopefully we have another 10, 15 years.
Dog.
This year you chasing me. So who you got next up?
Next up, the game of the week, man. God dog it. It's another offense and defensive struggle. Apopka versus DP, man. Game of the week, Apopka versus Dr. Phillips. Man, I said here for so long.
Who you got? Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? APK. Who you with? I'm sorry. Who you with? I want to know who you with.
If I don't pick Apopka, it's like I went to Apopka.
Oh, yeah.
Apopka would be so mad at me when I don't pick
Oh
them.
boy.
Like,
it's a wrap.
But they be so mad at me.
Man, they be mad regardless.
But damn it, they got to be mad again. I just don't know, man. I don't know if the offense could score enough. I want to say DP, but then again, I know that DP, when they be playing the Apopka recently and stuff like that,
they've been good games. No. When DP play Apopka, it's always good. Those games are always 1-point games. They have been. They've been defensive struggles.
Apopka typically be pulling them out, but I'm gonna go with DP this year, man. DP scored 60 points, so they done showed me they have the ability to score. Apopka has not. They scored 14 points last week. They scored 2 the week before, so they scored 16 points in 2 weeks. I'm gonna go with Dr. Phillips, man.
Hey man, you ain't finna give me man. I'm Mr. APK. Who you with? Who you with? I'm with APK. I done. My son was who going to mess with them daughters? I done did all that. I'm going with DP. Hey, I gotta go with him because it's the same adage that I just said about Okoye. You can't average 14 and 2. That means you average 8 points a game. And it is no way I can choose that over a team that's scoring, the way the DP is scoring. And I do believe that Coach Wells, he gave up 76. I doubt that'll ever happen again. The day he gave up 76, he actually came by the house. I normally give a brother a hard time. I couldn't even give him a hard time. So I'm pretty sure. I think that game's at Apopka or DP.
That game's at Dr. Phillips.
Yeah, I'm definitely going all DP. So I expect those guys to, I hope Apopka, Okoye prove me wrong and the offense does something because I think both teams have tremendous defenses and defense does win championships. So, you just need your offense to score a little bit, but defense definitely wins championships. So I'm going to go with DP as well.
Hold on. Yep. So that's it, man. That's a wrap right there. So those are our games, man. We gotta hurry up. We got a live draft.
We gotta go. Hey, with that being said, it's peace, love, and fish grease. We'll catch y'all guys next week. Peace.